Today's session, we are going to continue unit number 6 about polymers, and we are going to talk about specifically classification of polymers. Our main objectives are to explain the properties of various types of polymers, then we relate the properties of those polymers to their uses. I think you are going to enjoy the session. The first classification of the polymers bases on their structures. Basing on the structure, we have homopolymers and copolymers. Starting by homopolymers, they are polymers made of one type of monomers. As the word itself indicates it, we have homos, which means the same. And the example here we have, it's a polymer molecule that's made of A monomer molecules. As you can see throughout the structure, we have one type of monomer molecules that is A. And then another example is when you have a polymer made of B monomer molecules. Throughout the structure, we have only B molecules. Then we have typical examples for this type of polymer, where we have polyethylene. Polyethylene is made of only ethylene molecules. Polyvinyl chloride is made of only vinyl chloride. And polystyrene, which is made of only styrene molecules. And then we have nylon 6 that is made of an amino acid with 6 carbons. Here, one thing that I want to talk about is that most of addition polymers are homopolymers, but does not mean all of them, because here we have examples of like nylon, which is a condensation polymer, and it's a kind of homopolymer. And we can also have some addition polymers that are copolymers. Another type of polymers that bases on the structure is a copolymer. A copolymer comes from the Greek word cum, Latin word actually, that means with. And it's a type of polymer made of more than one type of monomers. Here there is an example of a polymer made of A and B monomer molecules that combine together. The examples are daclone, where we have ethane 1,2-diol and benzene 1,4-dicarboxylic acid. They combine together to form daclone or toluene. Nylon 6,6, we have a diamino compound with a dicarboxylic compound, and they combine together to form nylon 6,6. We have Kevlar, we have bakelite, and in bakelite in all that we have phenol combined with benzaldehyde. Copolymers can also be further classified into 4 types depending on the arrangement of the monomer molecules throughout the structure of the polymer. So we have alternating copolymer, whereby the monomer molecules alternate with one another. For example, here, if we have A monomer molecule, it is alternating with B monomer molecules, and this keeps on occurring throughout the structure of the polymer molecule. Another type is random copolymer. Random copolymer, the arrangement is done randomly throughout the structure of the polymer, whereby there is no certain order that is followed when the monomers are combining together to form the polymer. You can see, for example, if this was called A monomer, is followed by B, and then we can have 3 A monomer molecules that are coming, and then we have 1B, and there is no certain order that is followed. This happens, the arrangement is random. Then we have block copolymers. For block copolymers, the arrangement of the monomer molecules is done in blocks. For example, here we have one block of one type of the monomer, for example A, and then we have another block of another type of the monomer such as B, for example, and then we have another block that is coming. So the arrangement is done into blocks of types of the monomers that make that polymer. The last one is graft copolymer. For graft copolymer, one type of the monomer makes the main chain of the polymer molecule. Here you have, for example, A that becomes the main chain of the polymer molecule, and then another type of the monomer molecules make the side branch. For example, here B is the side branch to the main chain, and then here we have B that is a side branch to the main chain. That's what we call the graft copolymers. Here we are given an activity to check on the understanding, and we are asked to decide if the polymers given here are copolymers or homopolymers. Number one, it is a copolymer because we have three types of monomers, that is phenyl nitrile, betadine, and styrene. The second one is an homopolymer because we have only one type of monomer, that is methyl methacrylate. We have the third one that is a copolymer. It's a kind of condensation polymer that is between a carboxylic acid and an alcohol. We have the third one that is also an homopolymer. It's an addition polymer that is made of propene monomers. We have the last one here that is a kind of homopolymer because we have one type of amino acid that repeats itself many times. There is homopolymer, it's nylon 6. The second classification of polymers is based on the origin of the polymers. Considering this criteria, we can identify natural polymers and synthetic polymers. Natural polymers are those polymers that occur naturally in living organisms, either in plants or in animals. Some examples of natural polymers are starch that exists in plants, cellulose also in plants, proteins that can be found both in plants and animals, silk that is from silkworm, wool that is found in the hair of the sheep that is shaved, natural rubber that is obtained from latex extracted from rubber tree. We have so many others. Cellulose and starch are polymers of glucose, and they are a type of condensation polymers. Synthetic polymers, for them, they are artificially made in industries or in the laboratory by human beings. Most of synthetic polymers are long-chain organic molecules, and they contain thousands of monomers that are joined together artificially by human beings. The common examples of synthetic polymers are polyvinyl chloride, polyacrylonitrile, polyethylene, nylons, polystyrene, bakelite, Kevlar, Nomex, terylene or Dacron that we have seen before, and synthetic rubber. We have so many others, we cannot exhaust the list. In this activity, you are given 3 questions. Question number 1 is to explain the reason why proteins are called natural polyamides. Number 2, you are asked to differentiate synthetic from natural rubber. Then the last number, you are told that neoprene is formed by radical polymerization of 2-chloro-1,3-butadiene, and it is known as synthetic rubber. Explain why it is called synthetic rubber. So after this activity, that's what we had today. We have talked about classification of polymers, where we classified them according to their structure, and we identified homopolymers and copolymers, and we have also classified them according to their origin, where we identified natural and synthetic polymers. I think you have enjoyed the session. Next time we shall come when we are talking about other classification. Thank you very much.